You're listening to Rock-N-Sexxxy UnCensored, bringing you the cutting edge of the entertainment world weekly, hosted by Lynn.
All right, everybody. Welcome back. We are live around the world on Rock-N-Sexxxy UnCensored, broadcasting live on ubngo.com and live streaming on our blog at rocknsexyuncensored.com. I'm your host, Lynn, and it is my great pleasure to be here with you all tonight. RNSU works overtime to bring you the cutting edge talent from the music and entertainment industries. And guys, tonight is no exception. Our entire show tonight is reserved for metalheads and metal music fans worldwide as we celebrate one of the badass bands of them all. And not just for their music and their amazing talent, but for their longevity. Many great bands produce hit music all the time. But to persevere through challenges and changes life throws at them is what makes legends. And these guys are absolutely that. Like me, they came out of the gate when all the greatest metal hits happened in the 1980s. And since the BulletBoys' self-titled debut album hit in 1988 with the hit song Smooth Up In Ya, this band has come a long way. Well, the current lineup has changed, I think, once again. It's changed a couple of times, but the man with his finger on the pulse of it all is going to be with us tonight. He's running just a little bit late to the studio, so we're just going to keep ourselves busy. Mark Torian will be with us any minute. The band's current lineup includes the bassist Brad Lang. You will know him from Y&T, Burning Rain. The drummer is Fred Aching from Powerflow and Billy Bio. And he is live in the studio. We like to call him Mr. Metal guitarist, metal shredder. He is with Gods and Monsters, Lizzie Borden, Attica 7. I could name so many. Now he's with the BulletBoys. Ira Black is in the house tonight. Ira!
Oh, yeah. My pleasure. Great to see you again. Yeah.
I know. It's exciting to see you again.
It was bound to happen. I'd end up in the BulletBoys eventually, right? Because I play with everyone, as everyone already says, But it's I've known Mark a long time. It's been a great pleasure, joining up with them and writing some new music already and playing a handful of shows. The first show was incredible, actually. We had about 5 days to put it all together. We ended up playing the Rock Island Fest in Florida with Cheap Trick and Dee Snider and Bret Michaels and Winger and Warrant and all these bands.
You're kidding? When was this? I didn't even see it.
Yeah, that was the last weekend, I believe, of January. So that's what brought the new lineup together. Was he had the original lineup back together. They ended up quitting on him about a week before this festival.
Oh my God.
So he was going to just cancel it. He called me up. We'd been working on some music. He says, Ira, we have to cancel this. I'm like, no. Hold on a minute. We can do this. Let's put together a kick-ass lineup. And that's what we did. So we went to some of our go-to guys, Fred Aching on drums and Brad Lang, the bassist, of course. And it was like...
Then I guess I said it right. We were talking about how they persevere, and this is what makes legends. And also how the music industry is such a small town, where everybody is in their gig doing their own thing. And it is highly competitive, and, everybody wants the number one spot. But at the end of the day, it is a small town, and people do rely on each other. It's like a family, especially where it is concerned around the whiskey, which I know you guys just recently played at the whiskey again. Yeah. And we'll talk about Jessica Chase, who is What is she what is her actual title?
She's one of the producers of Ultimate Jam Night.
She is one of the producers of Ultimate Jam Night, which produces like the most iconic music legends who all come in to
Ultimate Jam Night. Yeah, we get
to
together.
ultimately jam together.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah.
And I've been a part of that on the 69th episode once before, and we've had so much fun.
We gave away the Vagina brand guitar that night.
We were giving away free vagina, and nobody quite understood what we were talking about.
It's a guitar.
Yeah, but it was definitely packed when we were giving away the guitar on stage. So here we are all this time, and before that, what were you doing leading up to it? Were you just taking a break, or?
Yeah, well, for me, during the pandemic, obviously that was a hard time for everyone, for various reasons. Obviously, the lockdown, let's start with that, and all the deaths and all the, so that was hard for, and us just trying to figure out what's going on in the world,
I know it was a really difficult and frightening time for everybody that I knew that was in the music industry, because so many people are reliant off their touring. It's not just about the music that you make, but the more piracy wreaks havoc on all of the industries. People are more and more reliant on going on the road and touring, and they make money off their merch, whether it's club touring or like you said, doing these great festivals. And that just shut down, and we were kind of all in the house going, okay, this is going to happen for a month, or it's going to happen for a couple of months, and then it went into 6 months, and then it went into a year, and then it was like, when the fuck is this going to end?
For me, it was because, as you know, I'm always very busy. I always my schedule runs, keeps going. Every once in a while in the back of my mind, I think, is this ever going to slow down? Will I ever get a break? Just in the back of your mind, because, sometimes you get tired or worn out. And when the pandemic happened, I thought, you know what? I'm going to use this time to actually take a break and get into some other things I feel like are but it wasn't a type of break you're thinking. So what I did is I got my recording studio together and went deep into recording. I wanted to figure out, crack the code, as they say, on how to get a good sound. Like for myself, like how do I get a good guitar tone in the studio? Like for real, because, I think a lot of musicians, believe it or not, are not happy with the albums they put out and stuff, because a lot of times other people are mixing it and getting the sounds for them, and we don't always get captured the way that we want. So I thought, I'm going to get my recording studio together, and I'm going to figure this out. So that's indeed what I did. I probably wrote somewhere around 250 songs, and I played some songs for Mark. That's how we ended up hooking up. We ended up doing a side project.
So that is what ended up happening, and I did see that. We're going to play some of that coming up in just a little bit, as soon as we get settled here. It's called Behind the Music. Is that what it's called? There was a making of the music video that is out.
Yeah. So this is later on. So first, Mark and I were doing a side project outside the BulletBoys. That's how this whole thing started. So we started working on some other music, kind of with another project name, in mind. And when the BulletBoys original lineup split, that's when I joined up with them, and I said, okay, here's my chance now. I'm already working with Mark. So I put together the song, Holy Fuck. And so
we're going to be hearing it
we recorded the song,
I just want to
mixed
wait
it,
for
produced
Mark.
it. Yeah, totally. And then put together this music video. And we made a little behind the scenes of the music video to put out as a little advertisement. So that's
I love
what we have
that,
here
because
today.
that is the thing with the fans. They really want to be able to be a part of it. And when they get brought into it, especially like even here with the show now, we wanted to be able to reach out to the fans and show them what we're actually doing in the studio when we're doing all of this stuff. So instead of just doing audio radio, we are now TV media broadcast. So I hope you guys are watching. But I'm excited for you. Are you excited?
Oh, yeah, very much so. Literally a couple days after we decided we're putting together this new lineup, we're going to do this festival, I wrote a song. Like, I got excited because I was, like I said, having worked in the studio throughout the entire pandemic, I'm to the point now where I can just write at will. Like, I can sit down right now with you on air here and write a song with you and record it. So that's kind of where I'm at now.
Too bad you didn't bring your guitar.
Yeah, exactly. So I ended up, putting together the song after 2 days or something of talking to Mark about joining up with him in BulletBoys. So I'm like, this is my opportunity. I'm going to write a
I
BulletBoys
bet
song.
he was
finally.
relieved. I bet.
Oh yeah.
Oh wow.
He loved
what
it.
a relief.
We started working on it.
That must have been just hit him like a ton of bricks.
Yeah. As soon as we got back, he was a little bit apprehensive. He's like, man, the original lineup quit. This is so hard. I've been doing this for years. As you can imagine, he was a little bit, apprehensive because it's disheartening when you do it for so long and then you're working hard and all of a sudden your band quits.
You're used to a certain momentum, everything goes a certain way, and then all of a sudden the rug gets ripped out from under you. And I think that is kind of the difference between people who are making it beyond the pandemic and people who are just falling flat, and that's the end of it.
It's hit or miss. You got to find the right people. That's the thing, because you never know till you get into it. This is an age-old thing with bands. A band gets together, they rehearse, they write songs, and all of a sudden, hey, we just got offered this tour, and the drummer or someone in the band's like, oh, I can't leave my job, or all this stuff, so
they leave the band, or a lot of people pass away, especially in COVID. We lost so many people, not only to COVID, but to fall in addiction and all this other stuff. So the other members of the band have to be able to survive and go on from that.
Yeah. So that's why we picked Fred and Brad, and of course, I'm always a go-getter.
How'd you pick Fred and Brad? If you guys are out there, you can call us on the live line and tell us all about it too. Guys. By the way.
Yeah, we love Brad. He lives up in Northern California, so you're thinking, well, maybe that's not the best choice because he doesn't live here. But we're like, no, Brad is the best choice because he's a phenomenal bassist. He's a great singer, which it's great always to have, other members singing in the band.
Give us a second. And now he's here live in the studio with us today. The man, the myth, the legend. Mark Torian has made the show. It is so good to see you. You have to give me a hug. I am so happy to have you on the show. I'm great. Even better now that you're here. Just to bring you up to speed, we're just kind of backstorying Ira. I kept it to like how Ira kind of hooked up with you and with the band. So make yourself comfortable.
All right,
you need
awesome.
to have
Thank
a little
you.
drink of water. I know. Guys, the traffic is insane.
I don't know why. I mean, I left literally about almost an hour ago.
Yeah.
And I've been stuck on the freeway. So it's the 101 freeway, and it is what it is. But I'm never late. I hate being late.
We've done worse, right?
It's rock and roll. I'm here. Hi, everybody. How's it going?
That's right. And guys, everybody is really excited because I was just talking about your longevity and how,
thank you.
The thing that makes a legend in the music industry today is not just your musical talent, because a lot of bands produce hit songs. And you certainly had yours, starting with Smooth Up Enya, and then just rolled on from there.
Yes.
And what was great, I was talking about that, and I said, but the difference is that when you have longevity and you can just roll with the changes and challenges that life is bringing at you. And I had no idea about what you had been through with the festival, and Ira started to fill us in, and I said, isn't that amazing? So it was just the perfect setup for you coming into the studio today.
Ta-da!
And Mark has been on the show a couple of times, and he has a huge audience with Rock-N-Sexxxy, UnCensored, and people we've dropped a couple of different
we have
things that you guys
thank you
have
for
done.
having us. I really so appreciate it and love you so dearly. So thank you for
We're so happy to have you back on the show.
We're just stoked. We're excited.
And when I found out that you were doing like a new record, you guys have a new record, right? So
yes, yeah.
Are we calling it an album, or can we are we pressing LPs?
Well,
what are we doing?
There's still vinyl is still very, very relevant, so we can still call it a record, I think, right?
Okay, so you're going to be actually pressing vinyls and putting them out. Right?
God willing, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's what our plans are.
I'm so happy to hear that.
It's like we got to put out vinyl. We love vinyl, so, and everybody really is has rediscovered vinyl
right.
For the past couple of years, especially since everybody's been locked down
Maybe we'll do a VR record too, you know, so you can wear goggles and go on a date with Amber
that
Lynn
would be amazing. Which is why we're
now we're talking.
This is why we've moved up, guys, and we're TV media broadcast now.
That's what it feels like here.
Fans want to be
great.
here in the studio with us live with you guys.
I love it.
You know,
That's
and
great.
so it's not just about talking about your music and sharing with them that way, but you know, we're going out all over the world right now, and all the fans can tune in, whether they're on YouTube or they're on Facebook, whatever social media platforms you're on. So you guys are here with us, and we are so happy to be able to share with you the new album, and it is called Holy Fuck. So
yes, it is called Holy
what
Fuck.
better person to introduce that than me?
Exactly.
Totally.
Right?
Yeah, well, I guess we would be calling this our single. So this is our first single from an album that we are actually working on, and we're really, really blessed and excited because we can announce today that we are now signed with a company called Rock Avenue Records.
Oh, awesome.
And which is a big thing for us to celebrate because it was a lot of hard work from Ira here and Parties That Be to find congruency and to actually be blessed with people that really get us and get the fact that we still have a lot to say. And
absolutely.
That we're writing stuff, you know, I like to call it dangerous. That might not be the right word for it, but it would be real rock and roll, real punk and roll, things that, you know, we're not, you know, we're not singing to tapes or we're not singing to samples. We're really putting it out there, real vocals, real thing, loud guitars, big drums. You know, that maybe that's kind of passé these days, but I don't know. Just I'm so excited about the relevancy of what we're doing musically that I've been through a lot in my personal life this past, as we all have. But I lost my father here about 3 months ago.
I'm sorry.
I just left a long relationship that I've been in, and I've gone through kind of an awakening period. And I thank God that Ira's here because he's such an amazing. Forget the musicality of Ira, but just as a person, his thoughts and the way he. How he rolls through life, and he's taught me a lot of things because I'm a Virgo and I want everything like right now, and you know. But we've worked really hard.
I'm a Virgo too.
You know, yes, I love you.
Got it. We know
want,
each
you know what I'm
other,
saying?
right?
So,
So
like,
we get each
so
other.
I'm just like, wow, you know.
And perfection and all this stuff, and then when something falls apart, it's very difficult for us to just go, okay, boom, because we need things to be perfect.
Yes, I know,
Yeah,
and it's really
and
hard to say
really
that,
hard
but-
on ourselves.
And he's like that too. So he's a lot more
Well,
like
Jessica's
that.
a Virgo, so she's
Yeah.
rubbed off on me. She's helped me
Yeah.
to learn how to organize and pay attention. You know, I'm being in Aries, you know, very spontaneous. I just go, and leave the wake behind me. But now I'm like, okay, let me organize it a little bit, make sure it's not too messy. You know,
That's what's brilliant about. See, what's brilliant about this, this union of me and Ira. We've known each other a long, long time, and we've been planning on doing something musical together for quite a while. I can say that, right?
Yeah, we talked about it many times,
I mean,
so it's just the
it's
time
like,
just never happened.
Let's do it.
You know,
I'm going on the road. I'm going, oh shoot, I'm doing this. So when things went awry with the other situation, it really left me in a really. I mean, I can't even tell you how. I can just say it right now. My heart was completely shattered, not only from the situation, but from some of the fans that came and said these really awful, awful things, and it kind of maybe wanted
Trolls.
Kind of wanted me to
Everybody's got 'em.
Maybe wanted to really stop and quit and think about things and just take some time off. But Ira was like, "Dude, no, let's do this." We were already started working on this other project that we'll talk about in a minute, but together. And he says, "Listen, what if we do this? What if we go at it like this? Let's just go at let's just put out a record that's just undeniable with me and you working on it, Fred and Brad. We could do something really, really special that people haven't heard in a long time." And, you know, I took the bait and I said, you know what, he's right. We can do something, and I'm ready to do something. And it's going to take a lot of work. We're going to start from the bottom up again, but we're doing it, and here we are. So we've
It's like the stars align, when you have the right people
man.
that come together, it's
For real.
We had worked on this other
I
song for
couldn't have
another
picked
project.
a better person because we were just at like dinner that one after the last show. Remember, we were all at dinner and we were talking about the music and stuff like that. And I've known Mark through my show and through people for years. And
even before,
and if I would have heard that something like this had happened with the other members of the band, I would have said that would be the first person I would think of would be, let's go to Ira. And it is. It's like a small town, so you have to be careful in the industry, how you handle not only your entrances and your hits and your greatness, but how you handle your exits, because it is a small town, and when you do just rip the rug out from somebody and then move on without thinking or doing the right thing, then it will come back on you eventually.
Especially in this town,
Yeah, and so I'm just so grateful to see that you guys were able to pick up the pieces because you were meant. The universe has more work for you. It needs you here to create more and to put more stuff out there.
Well, it also humbles us, because of all the things that come over the years. Yeah.
Totally,
and,
bro.
We don't like to sit here and say, "Oh, I'm a badass." When other people say, "Okay, great," but we put in all this hard work and stuff. And I know Mark doesn't want to hear us say, "I'm the fucking baddest singer I ever lived." But let me tell you something. I'll sit over here on the other side from my perspective. After doing that one first song to him, and then the BulletBoys thing happened, I was just like, I already knew what I had, what we could do, because the first words that came out of his mouth when we were recording was so magical and perfect. I was just like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, oh my God, I could do 100 songs with this freaking guy. Oh my God, this is like the real deal. Sometimes you're in a studio and someone's singing, you're thinking, okay, it's gonna need a lot of work. Okay, hey, let's try this. Let's see. I didn't have to do any of that. I was just like, whoa, keep going. It's like, keep going. It's like, oh my God, I'm just thinking, this is like, and that was the first song on a side project. So when the BulletBoys thing happened, I said, okay, I started getting excited because I know what I can bring, because I'd been working all during the pandemic.
Songs, and all these riffs and songs and stuff, and I'm like so
in a period of 2 weeks, I sent him like
exciting.
10 songs.
Yep.
I kept cranking them out every day, and he's like,
more. Send me more.
Oh my God, I was got excited and stuff.
Totally.
Okay, well, I guess we've teased you guys enough, right? We're just like teasing and teasing and teasing and teasing.
Yes,
and guess what? So why don't we set the song up for everybody out there right now? What's behind it? What is it about? Are you ready?
I think. Do you want to should we say it's like I'm always this type of person. I think Ira might be a little bit like that too. When you're presenting a song to somebody, I always like them to have their own feeling about what the song is about. But I can share with you that Ira did direct this video for the song, and when we wrote the song, we had gone through all of us all together everywhere around the planet. We've been locked down for so long that we wanted to put out just a burner and just to ask people, what's going on? Why is this the way it is? Can someone tell me what the hell's going on? What the fuck's going on? Basically, and then in the lyrical content, there's basically somebody that's having an epiphany about somebody or something that they're with or that they're in or they're involved with that is not working the right way.
Something that you love might not be
ready?
good for you.
Let's do it.
I mean?
Let's
There
hear
you
it.
go.
Something
Here
that
it
you
is,
love
you
may not be
guys.
good for you.
The debut. Here it is. Holy fuck.
Yes.
Such a hideous scene, I see you in my dreams.
Wow, they have a new album out, guys. It's called Holy Fuck. They have a new music video. You did not see it there. That's the behind the scenes making of the new music video. So we're going to tease you just a little bit more on that. They'll be touring throughout August. They have 3 dates available coming up in LA. They're going to be at the Canyon Club.
Yes.
So they're going to be coming up at the Canyon Club. What is it, August? What are your dates on that? Oh, July.
Actually, yes.
Okay, so they're
It's
coming
in
up a little
July.
sooner. I thought we were
it
going to
right
give you guys.
here.
So you better get out there and get your tickets.
We have been just going and burning the candle at all ends. Like, it's been insane.
July 15th at the Canyon in Agora. July 16th at the Canyon in Santa Clarita. And then July 22nd, the following weekend on Friday at the Canyon in Montclair. And then, of course, Mark and I, on Saturday, the very next day, we'll be playing an acoustic show in Hollywood at the Federal.
Yes.
We have a busy...
So you're doing an acoustic version of Holy Fuck, the single we just heard now?
We haven't talked about it yet.
Wow, that's amazing, because I was just thinking, my first thoughts on the new single, I don't know if you guys have the same, and fans, you're welcome to call in. The call-in number is right there. Call us, tell us what you think of the new music.
Come and say hello.
Talk to the band.
Please,
we're here.
come and say hello
we want
to
hear
us.
from you. But the first thing I thought of was, and I keep going back to it because it's like, you guys are really known for Smooth Up In Ya, and that, when it dropped...
And the song, too.
1988.
Yeah, absolutely.
It was hard, heavy, hard.
Yeah, man.
And now I was just thinking, you guys have like taken turbos and strapped them on the band now and taken it to the next level of metal, which metal has evolved. It has come so far, and you guys were one of the originals.
Thank you.
Right?
Absolutely.
We always, Mark and I are on the same page with this. It's just the truth. Music is interconnected from the beginning. You go back to the blues. It all started there. That's where rock and roll started, with the blues. So all the way up to metal, you can draw the lines. Of course, they mix classical from European stuff too to bring it up to metal. But it's like blues is where rock and roll came from.
Absolutely.
Right.
And of course, the BulletBoys, like the first record, I mean, that was blues all over. That was a blues rock band just laying it down.
You guys did a cover for, you had a cover song that you did for The Love of Money.
Yes.
Wasn't that originally done as a cover song for wasn't it OJ?
No, that's actually, that was written by the OJs, and we did it as a cover. And
right, as a metal.
Motown, blues.
Yeah, yes.
There you go,
And that was kind of like, I would say that was my homage to when I was signed with Motown, so when I was a kid.
Right.
So when we did that song, now we're gonna sashay into another thing that me and I are doing. We're actually we're redoing another song from the Motown era. And can I say what it is?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Well, be careful.
I don't know if
Oh no! When you hear what we've done with it, no one's thinking about doing this.
Copyright.
I dare.
We're redoing a song called "Standing in the Shadows of Love."
Oh.
And it is one of my favorite tunes. And I just was talking to Ira. What do you think about this? And I was singing it to him, and he goes, "That's it, done." He goes, "I'm gonna go and cut it." So that night he actually cut it, sent it to me, and it's just like this outrageous rock tune that I can't even say it's rock. It sounds really futuristic. Like, it's really got this Blade Runner type of sound to it, And by the way, I'm so excited the fact that we actually got to talk about the process of the video. I'm really excited for Ira because he got the chance to do the storyboarding and directing of it. I gave him open carte blanche. He had the beautiful idea of doing things, and how we kind of made a bit of a mini movie, and how we showed the aspects of downtown Los Angeles, which I just love. And we were able to really focus on that and to do something that maybe fans or just people in general haven't seen that. And it was really something that was a lot of hard work. And it was a hard like a trout swimming upstream. It was difficult, but what we achieved out of it, and how everybody managed to just say, okay, listen, I'm going to step out of my own way. Let's go with the flow. It all got done, and we got something that's just beautiful. I mean, that people are really going to be like, you got to be kidding me.
I picked up on that
Totally.
watching the making of the music video. I picked up on that. I didn't know any part of this backstory other than there was a new lineup, and I would have never guessed about what I heard by watching you guys work together, because it just seemed like you were going on to the next thing and you were super excited, and you could see it. You could see it in the way that you were talking about it,
Oh,
you
thank
know,
you.
on the music video that I saw, the making of the music video. So besides Ira Black being new to the band, let's talk about the rest of the lineup.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we've got a new bassist. We have a new
Yes.
drummer. Tell us about these guys. How'd you hook up with them? Who are they?
Well, really easily, I can say that Jessica Chase, who's working in management right now for the band, managed to get people together. She had a plethora of different musicians that she works with, put together all these line of people, and we just kind of looked and said, well, what do you think about this guy? What do you think? Well, I don't know about that guy, blah, blah, blah. But I've always liked Fred because I was able to see him at the Tuesday night jams. And
Is it Aching or Awking?
I call him Fred Aking.
Fred
Yeah.
Aching. Okay.
I think it originally says a ching,
Aching.
but
Yeah,
but everybody
Like
always says
ching,
aching,
ching,
so he
yeah,
said, well, I
right.
just roll with it.
He
You know,
went with
Right.
it. It's
yeah.
fucking rad.
So Fred is the new drummer of the band.
Yes,
Right.
amazing. I mean, just here's the thing: the Bullet Boys is a certain feeling and attitude. Let's just put it that way. With Brad, myself, Ira, and Fred, it's the attitude from when the band first started for me. The wanting it, the love for just music and playing for itself. The ability to be really humble and have humility and to be this loving person. That's what Fred and Brad are. Fred's been through a lot musically. He's been through a lot of ups and downs, a lot of low downs. He's one of the most incredible drummers and percussionists that I've ever played with. He hails from Peru, came out here to the States.
His attention to detail is
Wow.
It's just
impeccable and insane.
unbelievable.
Yes, like
And then Brad Lang, who was, for all intents and purposes, playing with one of my fave bands, Y&T.
Y&T, which
know.
is my
Wow.
roots.
You know.
Y&T was the reason I used to come up to LA back in the
Dude,
80s.
totally.
Long before I became anything, a model, an actress, or any of that,
Well,
I
not-
would come up and want to see Y&T at the Starwood, and we were like huge Y&T fans. And then after a while, like people like I thought Y&T would be the next
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
whoever, you know.
put it this way: if
BulletBoys,
Y&T,
Motley Crue,
if Y&T
any
is
of
on your resume, you don't have to audition for a gig.
Yeah,
you just
right.
say, "Who'd you play with?" Y&T. Okay, you
Here
want
you
to
go.
play with us?
Come
Sure,
on,
come
come
on.
on.
Yeah.
Wow, we
And
can
he
hear
is.
it again.
He's that good too. I mean, he's
Gosh.
great and the sweetest guy. I mean,
Yeah,
also by the way, I mean,
Wow.
you know what makes a band work in the end is if people get along. So
Right.
there you go. You know,
Well, I
these
think
are all
it's even
easy
more
going,
than
nice
people
guys.
People get
that-
along. They have to want to get along, you know.
Yeah.
And being in a band is like being in a long-term relationship. You know, it doesn't just happen by itself. Everybody goes into this honeymoon phase, and they're like, "Wow, this is really great, and it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome." And then all of a sudden, you're like, "I hate you, and I want to." And you got to go beyond these things, you know, in business and all of it, and you have to be able to work together, continue working together. I remember back in the day, years ago, I was involved with Aerosmith, was on the road touring with Pump, and I was involved with one of the players that was with the band. And they used to have to bring in a therapist like before the gig so that they could go in the back and have these long therapy sessions just so they could continue playing together, because they had played together for so long that they had these backstories, you know. And we come in with our shopping carts full of all our bullshit, you know, and then sometimes somebody has to come in and just unload it, freshen it up.
That's great. Sometimes you
know?
need help, a third party to come in neutrally and
Whatever it
kind of help
takes.
get stuff. You know, that's
you know, whatever it takes, as long as you're willing to just continue to grow and work towards it. I know it's, you know, for me, there's been a lot of things in life. Once you get a little bit older and you start to mature, you realize that, you know, we got to show up to this world. And when something happens like the pandemic, it's like we
Yes.
all get the bottom kicked out from under us. And we
Absolutely.
realize that if we want to continue to be here, be creative, be artists, and produce and grow, in our dreams, then we have to be flexible. And that's like the number one thing is flexibility. So
And you have to have a feeling of wanting to do something special. Sometimes people get into a rut and they're thinking they have these, I call them suburban rock dad mentalities. And you have to have a worldly mentality. You have to have a mentality of that you want to do something other than hanging out and doing something here. I mean, I want to travel with Ira. I want to be sitting in Barcelona having a cup of coffee with him doing shows. I mean, I want to be doing things that are worldly. I mean,
well, you'll definitely eat in some good vegan restaurants with Ira.
Oh, no,
that's
absolutely.
the one thing I
and
always,
also,
I always follow him. He's always posting the pictures. Like he's in like, where were you? You were in Germany. You were in somewhere else. You were in somewhere else, and you guys are like, we're in this great vegan restaurant. I'm like, oh, that looks good.
But yeah, there's. Some people stop and they hit a wall. I've never been that type of person. I always think that, how would you say it? Change is a good thing. Change opens up other things. And, you know, sometimes you just got to get rid of negativity and all this weight so the universe can come and shine on you and open up something and say, here it is all along, you know. Oh, wow, I didn't know that, you know. This is great. So no matter what it is, we have a great relationship with the four of us. We laugh and just about all kinds of stuff and laugh. We are able to laugh at each other. Which makes sense. There's not this stiff thing of I don't know, like I don't have ego. I'm not an egotistical dude. I'm more of a person that wants to give to this other person and I want to be part of the team than just me. I've always been like that, but you know, some people aren't like that.
And we like to have fun. We just played this Brat Fest in Wisconsin a few weeks ago, and you see Mark's on Facebook Live or Instagram Live. Yeah. So he went Instagram Live at the festival, and my phone beeps. Oh, Mark's live because he was in a different part of the festival. I was like eating a vegan brat backstage, and all of a sudden I see Mark.
Which were very, very good too, by the way.
Yeah, that was awesome, and they were great there.
So
I click on the link, and okay, now I'm watching Mark live at the festival from thing, and then he invites me, so I go in the video. So now I'm part of his video, and then we bring our
funny how the way things are
drummer in,
working
and
out?
we have a bunch of videos going.
It was so ridiculous.
And we're walking around the festival. So Brad and I are in this one, and Fred and him are another one. We're walking around the festival.
What I want to know, guys, is how are you bringing
Yeah.
the fans into it today? How are you guys keeping in touch with your fans? And what do the fans think of the new music?
Well, we haven't sprung that on them yet, so
it's just happening now,
we're
right?
getting ready to drop. Yeah, we're getting ready.
And
to
of course,
drop
coming out of the pandemic, you know, when music first started happening again, it was like no backstage, no meet and greets because you know people are still scared and stuff. So this stuff is slowly getting brought back in. So
You did play at the Whiskey last week, though, didn't you? Or a couple weeks ago, you guys.
No, last Friday.
Yeah.
Last Friday they were at the Whiskey, guys. So there will be more dates.
Sold out. It was awesome. In fact,
we went and hung out with everybody and stuff. Yeah,
we went.
And you weren't able to do a meet and greet after the show.
Not really. We had people backstage hanging out with us.
No, but because we went on, and I just want to thank everybody. I love you, Hollywood. You know how much I love you so hard. Thank you for sticking around till 1:15 in the morning to when we went on and staying there and staying through the whole show. I love you so hard, and thank you, Hollywood. And I think the whole band can thank you. It was probably one of the latest times I've ever gone on.
It was running a little bit late. We're like, like, you know, yeah, so.
It was like unbelievable. But everybody stayed and we had a party and it was great and it was magical. And I just want to thank everybody for being so supportive to us. And things were happening.
We had
Where do the fans go for tour dates and stuff like that, guys, so they can, you know, go?
Well, obviously to the BulletBoys Instagram page, the BulletBoys Facebook page.
Do you have the website up? Is the website going up? Is it up?
We're working on it right now. Yeah.
Holyfuck.com.
So stay on the Instagram page.
If you search that, be careful what you might find.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Don't be scared, guys. They're used to it. They're just all like, what? Okay.
And of course, you can go to our personal pages,
Absolutely.
Mark Torian's official Instagram page, my official Instagram
Go
page.
to Twitter, BulletBoys on Twitter.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's not that hard to find. Just search our name and they pop up everywhere, you know.
But we are getting ready to, our press release comes out here
next Thursday.
And we're this is just a single right now. We're going to be dropping an album here in the latter part of the year, and hopefully the latter part of summer. But what we're working on right now is just an amazing body of work for everybody. I mean,
if this is the start of it, I can't wait to see what you guys come up with the rest of it, guys.
Let's go.
This is going to be amazing, and I'm
thank
happy
you.
for you. And you
Thanks,
know what?
Amber.
What do you have to say to like these young new metal bands that are coming up that are looking at you, Mark, and they're seeing like you've been around for so long, and what kind of advice do you have to give them?
Believe in yourself when nobody else does. Love on yourself when nobody else does. Shine like a diamond if you know that you can, and work so diligently on your writing skills and what you put out as far as music. There's so much competition and so many beautiful and amazing artists these days. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
there's
just
a lot of good music
it's
out there.
beyond. I mean, it's beyond.
It's a different way of life, you know.
Yeah.
If you're doing it to make money, then get out now.
Absolutely.
You know, it's art. It's art first and foremost.
How
you know,
true is that? Now?
it's art
With
first.
everything,
You know,
yeah,
I second that emotion.
Exactly.
it's art first and foremost. You
Yes.
should lead with your love and your care for the craft of what it is you're doing, and
But
you know,
really
and,
care about that craft. You know, right now you have the opportunity to take that time. Artists, don't push your stuff out so quickly. Work on it. Put it together. Take it apart. Put it together. Take it apart. Let it simmer. Take it apart. Put it back together. That's when you have a smash, or it's Hitly or something that's... And listen, I don't have the answers for everything, please. I'm just... What I've done in my past and what me and Ira do, how we put something together, don't we? Take it apart. We put it back together. In fact, Ira, all kudos to Ira. He produced this single and is going to be the producer of the record. We are in good hands with Mr. Black.
So Mr. Black is the producer now.
Yeah,
wow,
yes, Mr.
he's
Black.
worn a lot of hats,
Mr.
and now
Black.
he's actually got another one.
Mr. Black
don't
is
give me
on
another
fire.
pandemic.
Are you
Don't give me
still-
another pandemic. He's
Are
gonna
you
see what I
still
come up.
playing? I gotta ask Ira. I gotta ask you one question. Are you still playing with your vagina on stage in front of all your fans?
Well, you know, I am sponsored by Dean Guitars, so I do stick to the script with that because
So you got another one. It's changed now.
No. I've been with Dean
Okay.
from the beginning. I had
The
a couple
maker
of those
of the
guitars that I got
vagina
from my
guitar,
friend.
guys. We're
How could
talking
I
about-
resist getting a couple of vagina guitars? Of course I had to. That was my friend who made
But-
those for me. And
But it's okay. He can always throw his vaginas my way, and I'll play with the vagina on stage.
There you go.
Live.
smooth up in you on a vagina.
Right?
I've been known to do that about it. Well, we won't get into that.
So check back later in the year, guys, because they got an album coming out. So we're going to have to bring the guys back.
Amber, this is so spooky,
right?
sexy. This record.
is gonna-
I did want to give a shout out too because he mentioned the whiskey show the other night.
Oh, yeah, yes.
And of course, Mark has done this before, but he was talking about change and doing stuff different. We're pushing forward, trying to do new and interesting different things here. We had the Pistolettes, which are backup
Yay!
singers that
Thank
sing
you,
for
Ira.
BulletBoys.
Yes.
So his sister. We also had Holly West, Fred's. His sister Gabby.
So we had Nikki Moran, we had Holly,
Yep,
and we
Holly.
had
Kitten, who sings backup vocals for Paul Stanley's Soul Station.
Yes.
I met her at Chris Santos'
She's
wedding a few weeks
amazing.
previous, and I said, please come sing with the BulletBoys. And she said, yeah, gave me her number. She came, so Paul Stanley's backup singer came and sang with us.
Amazing.
Oh
their
my
night.
God, that's so exciting.
And we
guys.
also
And
had
Emily V.
yeah, Emily V, an incredible violinist who plays with
so
us at Ultimate
beautiful,
Jam Night all the time.
Amazing gal.
So she came
So
up and
talented.
played
Lots of
Switchblade
reasons,
Butterfly
guys,
with
to
Mark.
keep on following
Yes.
the BulletBoys.
Yeah, that was-
We will have them back on the show.
Please.
And
Awesome.
We
We
will
love you.
absolutely have them back on the show. In the meantime, follow them at all the places that you see at the bottom of our screen right now, and
Yes.
check them out on their IG page.
Yes.
You are listening to us and watching us live on the ubngo.com network, Rock-N-Sexxy, UnCensored.com. I want to thank Mark Torian for making it into the studio today. Good luck with Holy
Thank you for the
Fuck.
invite. Thank
And
you.
Ira K. Black,
having
you
us.
guys
I
are
wanna
like
know what the
metal
fuck is
family
up.
to me. Thank you to all of our fans.
Thank you, Amber.
Thank you, Amber.
Woo!
Thank you for tuning in to Amber Lynn's Rock-N-Sexxy Uncensored. Available on rockandSexxyUncensored.com. Don't forget to hit us up on all your favorite social media links and tune in next week for another amazing episode of Rock-N-Sexxy Uncensored.
Awesome.